This episode of Moms in Real Estate is sponsored by EPM Studios. We're here for all your podcasting needs. If you want to start your own podcast, please reach out to us at www.epmstudios.com.
Hey everyone, welcome to my 5th podcast. Today's guest is...
I'm Colleen Davis with Villa Home.
And we have a special guest, my son Sammy. He's here chilling. My mom got surgery. She got hip surgery the other day, so she's recuperating. So I have him, and we're going to hang out with him. And actually, he's going to be doing most of the questions in the interview. So I'm going to be staying back, letting him do his thing.
I think he's excited about that.
You see? He's excited already. He's like ready to rock and roll. So you're so funny. I love you. So basically, let's just get started how we normally do, is just finding the history about you, telling us a little bit about your past, your future, present, all that kind of cool stuff. So let's just get rocking and rolling. So how long have you been in the business?
I started real estate in 2014. Mm-hmm. I actually was laid off from my previous job. I was in a job in aviation for about 15 years or so.
Oh, wow.
And there was layoffs, so I was management, so they got rid of management, and I had 6 months to myself at home, and I've always thought of doing real estate. I spent a lot of time as a youngster watching HGTV, and you know, the folks where they selling the shows and they're doing the updates on the homes. I'm like, oh, I could do this.
Yeah.
So it was a good time to take the class, and I part my license, and I interviewed right away with a few brokers and went right into the business. I did work in the business part-time in the beginning, and then I, by 2015, I made a full-time, switch, which I think is the best way if you're, especially being a mom, though, it was kind of hard, but, just getting in full-time, if you're really going to do it, there's no time to waste. Just go in, full-time, get to it.
Exactly.
It's like being a mom. It's like, if you go from, being pregnant, and then you're a mom, and it's full-time, you just have no choice in that matter. Just get right to it.
Exactly. Just go for it, and exactly. Exactly. I think that's like the best advice.
I think Sammy agrees.
Do you agree? Yeah. I think he agrees for sure. So, well, very cool. So, how were your first couple of years? Like, once you got your license, how did that, like the learning, the training, like, how did that go?
Yeah, that was interesting. As a new agent, I worked in an office with a lot of experienced agents, so it was a little bit easier for me because I had a great, bunch of folks that I could ask questions and learn from. It was a lot of varied experience in the office, so a lot of veterans in real estate, 20 years, 30 years. So I was able to, pick up a few things here and there. And then in 2016, I joined up with my partner, Tom McGivern. So we've been a team since then.
Oh, wow.
And I've learned a lot from him. He's learned a lot from me. And it's just, get out there, you do it,
Yeah.
and you just kind of pick up things as you go. Everything is a learning process. Nothing's written in stone, so it's it's a bit of a learning curve in the beginning. But you get used to the things that are standards. Like putting in an offer, getting the offer accepted, getting the offer not accepted in this market sometimes. Doing your home inspections. So it's
boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground. That's it.
That's the best training you can have, and then just ask your questions as you're going through the whole process.
That's why you have your manager. You ask your questions, and hopefully from there you just learn as you go, and bookmark those things that you have to refer to again.
Exactly.
So it's not too hard. It's not too easy either, but it's all how you take things as they come.
Exactly. And every deal is so different. It's so hard to, imagine everything being the same. It's not. You never know what can happen or during an inspection or anything. So that makes it like the cool part,
Yeah, I just keep this thing standard for my buyers, like this is what to expect at this point, but never to say this is exactly what's going to happen, because it's never going to be this way. It's always going to be, whoever's involved, the parties are different, your bank is different, your attorney is going to be different from the last deal. So you just have to work with the folks that you're working with, and there's no planning really.
Exactly. It's just let's go, let's keep going, rocking and rolling in the business and growing. And that's the wonderful thing about it. You know, it's you put in as much time or as little time as you want into the business. So that's the beautiful thing about it, you know?
And I think with moms, even in real estate or new agents, you know, guys in real estate, anybody going into the business, it's good to have a mentor. So if you can find somebody that's in your brokerage that you admire, or they just have a level of business that you're looking to shoot for, you know, in 5 years' time, maybe, you know, that would be a good person to see if they're willing to work with you and help you out along the process.
100%. So our next question is like, so how many children do you have?
I have 2 kids. My oldest is Caitlin. She's 24, just turned 24. And my youngest is Caden. He's 13.
Okay.
Nice to have a big gap between the kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
Made working a little bit more easy. But in real estate, when I started, my son, I think, was about 4 or 5 when I got into the business.
Okay.
And they were both in daycare. So, you know, some folks may not find that to be a plus, but I found it to be a plus for my kids, especially I was always a working mom, even in my jobs before real estate. So my kids had a huge benefit from being in daycare. I think they both started around the age of 2.5.
Okay.
By Sammy's age. It was a good time to kind of break them away from me a little bit and get them started with school. And that just made it easier for me to work, you know, those full-time jobs. So, but in real estate with Caden, he was good. He always saw that, you know, mom's busy, and I always explained to my kids when they were young, you know, mom works for a reason. You know, I was married at the time, so it wasn't like I was on my own. I consider myself a single mom now. You know, my kids they're older, so I don't really, you know, you're still mom, but you're not momming in the same way. But it was interesting. But, you know, working with the kids is, you know, I said, you're going to have a job too when you get older, and you're going to be in school, and, you know, it's easy to navigate.
Gotcha. How was potty training during that phase? Because you were right in that phase, right?
I was actually right in that phase. That's a good question.
Okay.
That was tricky because he was just starting with the preschool, and they kind of helped with that in some ways. But he was far enough along that he was actually potty training at home before we went into the daycare.
Okay.
So it kind of retracted a little bit though, because now you have somebody else, like the teacher at school, kind of helping him out. So he kind of went backwards a little bit. Like it was like 5 steps forward, and then it was like 7 steps back, kind of thing. So it kind of interrupted the flow of, you know, potty training from home. But he did get there quick enough. You know, it was a little bit awkward in the beginning, but he managed okay. Okay. And I didn't have any issues from there.
Oh, that's good.
But
so with that, you would consider like as a secret sauce in a sense for you because of having the you know, daycare and all
absolutely.
that stuff? Okay.
Yeah, it's, you know, not every mom feels that way, but I felt, you know, I wanted to work. It wasn't like I needed to. I wanted to. It just so having my kids being able to go to daycare, definitely a secret sauce for me. Definitely helped. They loved it, so I didn't feel bad when I was picking them up because they didn't actually want to leave. They made friends easily, so, and I think that helped them socially, you know, growing up in school. Even now, my son can sit with in a group of grown-ups and speak freely and have an intelligent conversation and not have to feel shy. I know some kids are a little bit shy around grown-ups, but it just helped them expand a bit. So I think in my eyes, I feel that helped.
Yeah,
you know,
no, absolutely.
For my child's growth, both of them.
Absolutely.
I can leave them, and they can socialize, and I don't have to feel like I'm worried about how they're representing their parents.
Exactly. So what activities did you like to do when they were younger, like festivals? Like, what did you enjoy when they were growing up during this phase?
Well, funny enough, when I was younger, I started in a bagpipe band at the age of 10. So very big into my Irish culture.
That's awesome.
The redheaded realtor.
I love that.
That's what I go by.
Hashtag
redheaded realtor. I was always interested in the Irish dancing and the bagpipe band. My mom started us all, one of 6 kids, so we all did something musical growing up. So, and I'm in the middle of the 6.
Oh, wow.
So it was 3 girls and 3 boys. So we always did things around that revolved around our Irish culture. So I was in a bagpipe band, and obviously when I got married and had my kids, I didn't stop that. I mean, that's one of my hobbies. It's one of my joys.
That's awesome.
So my daughter Caitlin plays tenor drum in the bagpipe band. She started when she was 10. And then when my son turned 9 or 10, he was interested in coming down to see what I do at practice. So I got them involved. So they that's something we enjoy. We do festivals on weekends. We compete against other bands. So
Really?
It's, something where I can enjoy that with my kids, like actually enjoy it with the kids because they're doing it too. And then my son was always interested in baseball, so he was a little older than Sammy. He was about 4, and he wanted like the T-ball thing from Fisher Price. So we do baseball games on the weekends and during the week. So that's that keeps us busy, right?
Yeah.
He looks happy about that.
Yeah.
Baseball might be in your future, right?
Yeah, exactly. Representing the sports here, right? Yeah, no, I definitely think he'll love to play because he loves to like throw and like catch and everything, and he does like a really good job. Some of his like arm,
hand-eye coordination.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's shocking, and you don't think it's gonna come at you, and it's like.
Yeah, we all start with soccer and then you move into baseball.
Exactly. It's all the whole sports, and I think that's like a great thing to get kids involved young,
early.
just in general, because they're making friends.
Socializing, and it's, team building, and I think that's important later on in life too with, in real estate, being a mom in real estate, it's nice to be able to sort of work around your own schedule.
Yes.
I say sort of because if you have buyers that want to look on the weekend, your weekends are, we really can't plan for those types of days off. Which is okay. I've gotten used to it.
Yeah.
But it's nice to be able to go to a baseball game and sit there and enjoy it. And if I have to answer a text or respond to an email, I can do that at my leisure. I did work on my own before becoming a realtor. I'm licensed massage therapist.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so
that's awesome.
I kind of had that entrepreneur spirit. I've always kept that. But I'm still licensed, but I haven't worked in the field. Things that you may not know about me, I'm a cancer survivor.
Oh, wow.
So I was diagnosed about 9 months after my son was born. I had diagnosed with lymphoma.
Okay.
So that a lot of things kind of happened that motivate me in real estate and just keep me working and moving.
Oh, wow.
So
wow.
it was a tough time.
Exactly. Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah,
wow.
just it's craziness.
Oh, yeah.
But, being a mom in the business, you just have that motivating spirit. Just keep going. You're working for your kids, and at the same time you're teaching your son even that I work for me. I'm working for you. I'm working for our family, and it's just important to teach that to our children. I think being your own boss. I think that's important to teach the kids.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Sorry, everyone.
Real
Speaking
estate calls.
Exactly.
Real
yes,
estate calls.
actually it is a real estate call. So what's cool is that I guess Sammy's developed something where he sees me so much on the phone. So when it rings and if I'm in the other room, he'll actually go and he'll get it and he'll hand it to me.
Nice.
And I'm like, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing now, because now I think psychologically he's learning when the phone rings, grab it, take it, give it to mom. And I'm like, it's definitely helped where I'm like, oh, this is great. I'm like, oh, good, I can answer. But then all at the same time, I'm like, oh, my goodness. Like,
well, he's well behaved, so he's not screaming in the background when you're...
Exactly. Oh, sometimes he does. Sometimes he is. He's like, as soon as I get on the phone, I swear, I have the 2 dogs. And then as soon as I'm on the phone, that's when he's like, Mama, Mommy, Mama. And I'm like, then the dogs are like barking. And I'm like, you would think it's an animal kingdom in my house. Well, and I'm like, if you called me 5 minutes sooner, it wouldn't have mattered because it was silent, dead silent. And now it's like, oh my goodness. So I'm like, I swear, I can hear you. Can you hear me? No? Okay, I'm sorry. I'll call you back.
He needs the Fisher Price phone.
I have one of those too. I have the ones where it's like a little fake cell phone. I gave him an old cell phone, so now he likes it, like, 'cause we'll keep it, charged, and he'll play with it. So now he'll pretend he's like on the phone with mom. He'll go, and he'll like actually hold it to his ear, and it's like so cute. It's like the cutest little thing. So I'm like,
you have to get him to practice the answering.
I know.
Team Tenney.
Exactly. I'm gonna be my secretary. Hi, mommy is unavailable at the moment. Please leave your name and number after the beep.
That's it.
So it's like in that sense, it's good and bad. Like technology does help us in a sense where it's good to have that connection on a cell phone, because I know for me, like in high school, it really wasn't like officially out yet.
Right.
It was like we were still doing the little message notes and all that kind of stuff, and now it's just like,
it's changed in our business too, and I find
100%.
I remember when I started working with my partner Tom, he was always like, you need to be more on the phone, like make the phone calls, and there was certain people that I did make those phone calls to, and I'm like, no, but the younger folk don't want to listen to you on the phone, they want to text, so I was doing a lot of texting, and I remember we were having a little bit of a battle on that, so but I just think technology has definitely changed the business, and you have to keep up on it, which, I'm a little older than you, but I'm a little slow with that. I'm just like, I'll take the phone calls.
Yeah.
I'll make the phone calls now.
But I'm the same way. Like, when I have to pay bills or whatever, I call. Like, I'm used to making that phone call. I'm like, it's job security, and that's actually what I used to do with American Airlines. I was in the customer service business.
Excellent.
So it was like, it's good because it's job security, and it's good to interact with everyone. I'm always super nice. I'm like, I know what you're going through because I've been on your side.
So we have a little aviation background together.
Exactly.
That's very cool.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, So it was almost like the same thing. I kind of got, a little bit laid off during the pandemic. It was either like you quit or you put in your 2 weeks notice. Yeah. And I was like, it is a commute because I would commute to Dallas. And he was super young at the time. Like, he was born in July of 19, and this was going March of 20.
Right.
So it was like sacrificing a lot of time with the family and, going back and forth. And after a while, it's just like, I can't do it anymore anyway.
It's a hard business to be in, too. So
it is.
It's 340, 365, 24/7.
Exactly.
I was in travel. That's my degree. It's travel and tourism. And it was,
oh, wow.
Yeah. When you have kids, it changes. You want to work holidays? No.
Exactly. And that was the thing. I'm like, you know what? I just really want to take it easy. And that's what I did. I'm like, all right, I'll just give them my 2 weeks and call it a day. And, I miss all my friends 100%. Like the people that I've grown to call family, I miss them. But, we still stay in touch. Thank God for
Call
Facebook.
them, see if they want to move to New York.
Do you need
find
a
a
realtor?
house.
Do you need a realtor? Call.
Call us. We'll help you out.
But that's like the cool thing. It's just that if it wasn't for social media and the technology that we do have now, like that is a saving grace,
right.
For sure.
It helps you keep in touch. It's the same thing with our clients too. Those that have moved away, and I have to keep in touch with clients that moved to Florida. It's just nice to have that social media, interaction.
Exactly. See everyone's life. You know what's going on. Everyone's doing good. So it helps, in that sense. Have you done a lot of social media marketing during the pandemic, or how did you survive during that time frame?
During the pandemic was interesting because my partner Tom and I moved from the brokerage we were with previously, so we've been with this new broker, Villa Home, for a little over a year now. So I spent a lot of time during that switchover updating my CRM, getting in touch with clients that I kind of lost touch with. So I didn't do too much social media marketing. I just found like social media during the pandemic was all pandemic stuff, which was, probably a good time to do things. Tom is always doing something. He's got his little podcast going and always doing some marketing. That's his area. I don't try to interrupt that.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. That's his niche.
That's his niche. That's not my
Absolutely.
niche. Yeah, I try to avoid that stuff. I mean, I shouldn't, but I'm trying. This is for me. I'm glad that you have me on. Yeah. This is, something new for me, but
I'm glad you came on and you wanted to, do it, and that way you can share your story with everyone else that's, in your shoes. I mean, and especially to have like the training that you had prior, that's incredible, and to come into real estate. So, now who influences you? Like whether it's people in the real estate industry or outside the real estate industry, is anyone that like really influences you to like be a go-getter, to keep doing what you're doing, to keep rocking and rolling?
Definitely agents. I don't want to name anyone specifically, but agents that are at that level of high performance definitely influence me. I like a lot of successful women in business influence me. I try to take pointers from them here and there. I just think it's important to have a good role model that's a woman in business. I think it's male dominated to a point still, but it's nice to see a woman that's a mom even successful. My mom was a big influence for me growing up. Raising 6 kids, she was at home and she always felt she wanted to give something else to the family besides raising us all at home. She wanted to work, but she didn't, my dad was like, you know, I have the 2 jobs, you stay home, raise the kids. But she always said, if you want to do something, find a way to do it, whether it's get through school, you know, work for yourself. There's nothing stopping you. She was a very big influence on me, and I hope I have that influence on my kids. I hope I have what my mom gave me, and I can give it to my kids. So I find that she was a very big influence, and I still look up to her. She's 77.
Oh, wow.
She's kicking it. She's
Nice.
just, you know, she's not rolling in money, but she's happy. She's healthy, which is important, and so that's definitely a big role model. So
100%.
having a mom that can, you know, keep you moving and going, and you know, I still want to impress mom. You know, we all still want to impress our parents.
Exactly.
So,
no matter what age.
Yeah, no matter what age.
You want to just always share in like the success and everything. I know that's when I like call my mom and I'm like, hey, I got this buyer, I got this, got that, and you know she's always like, that's great, you know.
Yeah,
it's like, I get
she calls and she cares. She was always asking, so I always feel good saying, you know, it's nice that I'm able to support myself and my family in this industry.
Exactly.
Which is not easy by any means. Everyone thinks, oh, it's so simple. You work for yourself and you can just make your own schedule. No, not really. Yeah. You know, we work.
Yep.
We work on the days and hours when everyone else is off from their 9-to-5 jobs. So,
exactly.
You know, we work all day still, and then we're still working. So my kids understand. You know, if I get a call at 8:45 at night, I take the call.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, so they understand that, and I'm appreciative to my kids that they understand that and see the value in, you know, the times I can spend with them solely, like at the bagpiping contest or the baseball game.
Yep.
So it's important.
What was the hardest thing for you? If like getting first started?
Well, I don't know. I think with our schooling, we're not really taught how to balance the checkbooks, manage our money. You know, our parents taught us how to save. But I think getting into real estate or even any job that you're working for yourself, it's that 1099, you're not a W-2 earner, putting that money aside for taxes. You don't really quite understand it until after your first year, and it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
How come nobody really explained that to me? It was explained to me, but I didn't have any understanding fully of what that entails until you're, you know, save your receipts for everything. Okay, I did that. And then at the end, I sit with my accountant and I'm like, oh my God, how much? How much in tax money do I have to owe?
Exactly.
So that was a big surprise. But I did prep as much as I thought I should. It wasn't enough, but yeah. So that was probably the biggest thing I had to learn.
Agreed.
You know, but you know, you manage the money, and now it's you learn to put aside what you need.
Exactly.
But yeah, that was the biggest hurdle. And I don't know. I just think I have other hurdles like daily that I deal with. You know, besides parenting, I don't know, things people don't really know about me. My clients really don't know I'm diabetic, so I have to deal with, you know, managing myself. It's like a 24/7 business of yourself dealing. So I think when I was in business and odd hours, I'm showing homes. I'm at home inspections for a couple hours. It's like lunchtime. I'm like, I don't have a sandwich. I had to learn to like deal with, you know, packing my little lunch bag and leaving it in the car. You know, it's little hurdles, those little daily hurdles.
Exactly, yeah. So you have like so much on your plate already in that sense, and I don't think people understand really in general like what we do have to go through in that sense. So
they don't.
like,
no, you have a young kid, and you know you're trying to make sure their day is set and that they're ready to go and you know ready to stay when they need to.
Exactly.
And it's you know. We need more credit, us moms in real estate.
We do.
We do. We need more credit.
We do, 100%. 100%.
That's about it, really. I just, nothing else that's been too crazy. You know, I think we all have some crazy stories in real estate. I don't know if you've had any, but, you know, some funny things like showing homes. I come home and tell my kids, I'm like, yeah, so today I showed a house, and the realtor, that's the listing agent, they're showing the home with you, so they come in and I'm like, there's like a whole family of people here, you know, and it's like, what's behind door number 1? There's a lock on it. I'm like, oh, this can't be good. And there's people sleeping in there. You ever come across any crazy things?
100%.
Showing homes?
100%.
I'm sure Sammy's going to appreciate when he's a little older some of these stories.
Goodness. Oh, there was a property in Riverhead that they had like a 3-level like rental, so the basement, first floor, second floor, and it was just like every door was like different, and it was like a whole family of everyone. And I'm like, sorry everyone to bother you. I just always felt like I had to apologize. I'm like, I'm sorry to bother you.
It's like 2:00 in the afternoon, someone's still sleeping.
Exactly. I'm like, okay, we'll just look in the room real quick, and that's like I think the hardest part is like, that's where it's nice when sellers leave and you have that access to like walk around at your leisure, really talk about the property, really get to like understand it instead of like that other extreme where it's like, okay, you have to run outside to talk and then you're feeling bad because you feel like they're all watching you.
Right. That's why it's hard with our sellers too. We try to give them some advice on how to, not be there. And you don't want them to feel like I can't be in my own home. Mm-hmm. But that's another hurdle that us realtors have to deal with. Mm-hmm. Just helping the seller help themselves sell their home.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's just easier just to step out, Mm-hmm. It's the buyers. They want to go in. They want to be able to enjoy the property and see themselves there without the seller interjecting.
Exactly.
Every 5 seconds.
Exactly.
Or somebody sleeping in the bed.
Exactly. Now I've had that during a home inspection. Yes. I'm like, oh, sorry guys. But it's nice to have that whole like they get to envision what the house would be if they were there fully. Besides the layout and all that kind of cool stuff. So, right. This is how he is actually when we're at the attorney's office. He's just like, mommy, just cuddle with me, just hang out with me, mommy. I just want to be
You're
here.
a good boy.
He's great. He just wants to chill. Like that's like the one thing, but the other day we had a little incident. The other day we went to the restaurant and he's just like, after he was done eating, he's like running back and forth and like, thank God, like everyone left and we had the room to ourselves, but he was running back and forth. I had my phone calling. It was for appointment requests, like for showing time. And I'm just like, here I am. I'm like, Sammy, come back. The waiter's coming. I'm like, I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm like on the phone. I'm like, guys, hold on 1 second. I'll confirm the appointment in 1 moment. It was just like, it was like so funny, and now that's his new phase of like running around and just doing all that kind of cool stuff.
Keep you busy.
100%. Keep him busy for sure, So it's just like, just trying to enjoy lunch. It was just like it's now becoming a little bit of a challenge, when I actually have a little downtime, I like to spoil him. So it's like, oh my goodness, I can't watch him, but it's
tricky
cool.
At this age.
It is. Does it get easier? Please tell me.
It does. It does, but it comes down to the parent, I think.
Okay.
I don't think I know. In my opinions, I just think at this age is good when he starts chatting a bit more and he's. I always made my kids feel like they were very responsible for themselves in a good way at their level. So I think if you challenge them, my son especially, I always challenged him up. I think if you can clean your room yourself in X, Y, and Z, and he would be like, oh, I can do that. And, it just becomes a pattern of mom expects me to do this or thinks I can't do this. It's really that psychology.
Okay.
So much of expectation or my mom thinks I can't do this. My son responded to you think I can't do this. I can do this and I can do it better than you think I can. So that was a way of, it's like that psychology with a 3 or 4-year-old.
Yeah.
It worked.
100%.
He's pretty responsible, and even now even through school, I just was not one of these parents that like, let me just see your homework. I just wanted to see if it's done. I'm not going to sit here and check it.
Yeah.
He's like, what if I have wrong answers? I'm like, that's why you go to school. They'll tell you your answers are wrong. You'll find out why. And he became a very good student through that. Lots of reading. So, do you like to read, Sam?
Yeah, we do.
Lots of stories.
Exactly.
Real estate books.
I was like, when he was first like an infant, I was like, contract. I was saying like binder. Just trying to teach him, like
commission
attorney.
check.
Exactly. I was teaching him all those like words. It was like so funny. He's like looking at me like, what is mommy talking about? Of course, I'm teaching him those words, but it was like so cute,
Hey, you might become a realtor.
Exactly. I mean, whatever he does decide to be, come, I'll be so proud of him regardless, So it's whatever he wants to do and follow and
be an entrepreneur.
Exactly. CEO, whatever he wants to be, I don't even care what he does. As long as it makes him happy, it's going to make me happy.
You're a good role model. He'll be be just fine.
Exactly. So that's kind of where, if he's happy, that's all that matters, in life. And I think it gets to that point where you get so stressed on what you want to do, and especially in college, because you still really don't know 100% what you want to do. And it makes it kind of hard, in that sense. So I'm glad they have like career days and all that kind of stuff, because it really does open up the opportunity for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No stress. Teach them, don't stress over anything. Stress
exactly.
Life's too short.
Just go to college, have fun, or go to a trade school. Like, they're just as great. If you know what you really want to do and you follow your heart and you're passionate about it, just go for it,
Trade schools are the way to go, because I think all that plumbers, mechanics, nobody's doing that work.
Oh, 100%. And I respect them 100 times more, because I know I couldn't personally figure that out or do that, and I think it's wonderful. So even that, you go for it. I'm going to be calling you a lot for help, though. Like, Sammy, come over again. Mommy did this again. Fix this for Mommy. Like, oh, Mommy. So what are your goals? Like, what are your next 5-year goals in real estate?
Well, definitely for my next year, I want to double my income. I've had a really good year. Mm-hmm. I think COVID kind of helped in a way. Mm-hmm. Definitely want to increase productivity. Mm-hmm. Maybe grow our team a little bit larger.
Okay.
That's always a positive. Mm-hmm. And just keep, helping my buyers and sellers and earning the money and just doing what I love.
Exactly. He wants his shoes off. He's like, no, take off my shoes. Okay, awesome.
You earn the money, then you can kick the shoes off.
Exactly. Feet up.
Feet up on the beach.
100%. What advice would you give to, let's just talk about moms right now. What advice would you give moms, and then what advice would you give to realtors or agents that are thinking of getting in the business, or people that are thinking of getting into the business? Any advice in that way?
I say for moms, if you want to get into real estate, definitely just go all in. Just make sure you have some help along the way. If you need help, ask for it. Mm-hmm. Family, friends, especially with the kids. Just go all in. There's really nothing that should stop you.
100%.
Everyone's got friends and people that they speak to, and there's always somebody that buying a house. Get in touch with your neighbors, and just go from there. And same thing with anyone just wanting to get into the business. Just keep it real. It's real estate. Keep it real. Keep it real in real estate.
For sure.
And just if you have to be a real good people person. Just get out there and not be too shy. I was shy in the beginning in ways that I didn't need to be. And I learned from my partner, Tom. He was very good with just, get out there, get your face out there, just, talk to people. So I've kind of learned to get over that bit of shyness and that self-talk that says, I can't do this. I don't think I should do this. Well, do it. And then if it doesn't work, then all right, don't do that. Try something else. So just go full force in. And that's with anything, real estate, any job. Just give it your best. If it doesn't work out, then try something else.
Exactly. No, I agree. I think that's a wonderful advice to anyone, and I would agree with you 100%, because I think you don't know unless you try, and that's the key. You really got to give anything a shot.
Absolutely. Real
estate, whatever. A shot. Just follow. I think the best advice I would say is just follow your goals, follow your dreams, and just do it, because you never know if you don't try.
Right, and your kids will thank you for it.
And then the other thing is, if you don't know, ask. There's people that love to give out tons of information, and they just want to share their secret sauces out there too. So if you don't know, definitely ask.
Find out.
It's the greatest thing, ever. So, but I really appreciate you today coming here. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, guys, if you really liked the episode today, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. We want to keep bringing you really good content here, and, guests, and anything that you guys want to discuss, just put it in the comments below. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for having little Sammy on the podcast here today, too. I'm glad. I hope you guys enjoyed him. And thanks so much, guys. See you soon.
Bye.